Yo, what's going on guys, ADATA here, welcome back to another Destiny video. It's Friday, it's Xur Day, which of course means I'm back to tell you guys where you can find Xur, which is opposite Lord Shaxx this week, and of course what he has for sale and whether or not any of those items are worth purchasing. So as always, if you do enjoy this, then a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below if you have any questions, and if you've missed any of the Destiny 2 stuff from yesterday, check that out on the channel. There is some super awesome stuff that went live yesterday, so definitely make sure you are caught up. But with that out of the way, let's turn our attention to this week's stock. In fact, there are two brand new items. These new items are referred to as weapon bundles. They basically include a weapon and one of the associated ornaments for that exotic weapon. So in this case, it is Monte Carlo and the Royal Flush ornament, and this one over here is Xur Supercell and the Shock Hazard ornament. Now, I don't actually need either of these, but for demonstration purposes, I will buy one of them. So I'm going to start with Monte Carlo because I actually have the Shock Hazard ornament for Xur. I've actually got it on my back right now, so I'm not going to waste my time with that. So Monte Carlo, this will set you back 30 strange coins because of course you're paying for the weapon, plus it will also set you back silver dust because you are also paying for the ornament. So if we buy that, you'll then see once it completes the bar, I will get the weapon bundle. I can then go to my inventory, I can go over here, and you can then see it sits down in my consumables section. So if I then open this by holding down X to press use, once it opens up, I will then get a Monte Carlo and a Royal Flush ornament. So we're going to take a look at that. You can of course see over here, it does drop at 3 light. So I will of course need to infuse this if I want to make it remotely useful. But do of course bear in mind the reason behind that is because this is more so for making sure you get the ornament and not necessarily for the weapon itself. So that's partly where you have that, and of course I also have the associated ornament for it, so if I go back into it and I go and apply it, I have the Royal Flush ornament. So I put that on, and there we have it. Looks kind of fancy. Now, in truth, I don't really know why you would want to bother doing this, simply because there is now the kiosk you can go and buy pretty much all the ornaments. I'm guessing probably the main reason is if you haven't got a weapon and the ornament, then you can kind of sort of get both in one. I don't necessarily see myself buying these that much. I would much rather kind of just go after the ornaments anyway, but that is an option. These are the brand new things. They've been added at Xur. They will of course change on a weekly basis. You will have 2 weapons to choose from and 2 associated ornaments. So those are your weapon bundles. However, turning our attention to the usual stuff, ignore the legacy engram. This is of no use to you. If you are a returning player, then this will only give you year 1 items. So turning our attention to the Titans Ruin Wings. The main perk for this is that heavy ammo drops more frequently, and it also contains more ammo in each drop. You also get increased reload speed with rocket launchers and increased melee attack speed. This has an intellect strength roll of 54, 57 when maxed respectively, and if you compare that to the min-max values, then the lowest you'll ever see this is with 34 in both, and the highest is 58 in both. Moving over to the Hunters, Frosties, or the Frost E5. These are of course exotic boots. The main perk on these is that while sprinting, you gain a tighter turn radius and faster grenade and melee regeneration. On top of that, it also increases the amount of fusion rifle ammunition you can carry and increases your agility for 5 seconds after a solo double kill. This one has an intellect discipline roll of 71, 74 when maxed respectively, and if you compare that to the min-max values, the lowest you'll ever see this is with 47 in both, and the highest is 79 in both. Moving on from there to the Warlocks, you have the Astrocyte Verse. This is an exotic helmet that has recently had a buff in the Age of Triumph update. It is not something I've had a chance to test out myself, but if it's an item you like, then it's probably worth revisiting. The main perk on this is that you get a temporary increase to recovery on Blink, plus you gain bonus super energy from melee kills on minions of the darkness, and you gain bonus melee energy on all pickups. This one has a discipline strength roll of 58, 63 when maxed respectively, and if you compare that to the min-max value, the lowest you'll ever see this is with 38 in both, and the highest is 65 discipline and 104 strength. As for your weapon this week, it is No Land Beyond, the exotic sniper rifle. This is the one that goes in your primary weapon slot. That is of course thanks to the primary care intrinsic perk. Plus you have Mulligan, where missing a shot has a chance to return ammo directly to the magazine. And you have the Master, where you get increased precision damage and kills briefly increased damage against the next target. Plus this also has a brand new ornament that does look pretty sweet. So if you guys like this weapon, or you like to use it in the Crucible and you never really liked the sort of classic look before, then you can ditch that for a much more modern look and you can get this pretty cool looking weapon. It's a decent weapon to use, definitely good in the Crucible, not something I necessarily use too much myself, but if you are a Crucible guy, then it is definitely worth checking out. Aside from that, for your curios, you have the Emerald Coil, Void Drive, Heavy Ammo Synth 3 and 10. You probably want to stock up on some of these if you are running low. Of course, we have more raids and more challenge modes next week, so if you are running low, then they are there. You also have 3 of coins, glass needles, and of course, Mote of Light and your exotic shard. In fact, I actually need to pick up some of these, so I will grab them right now. Anyway, that's it for the time being. That is your week in Xur. That's where you can find him. That's what he has for sale. And those are all the relevant stat rolls. So if you did enjoy this, you did find it helpful, then a like would be super appreciated. Any questions, drop them down below. And thanks for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.